So if you've been in the training game, coaching, speaking for a minute, or even if you just started, you might have heard people say, I don't have the money to invest, right? And maybe you've heard people say that, or if you've been honest, you've said that time and time again in the past. And I can tell you, being in this game for almost 7 years, when I hear people saying that, you know, they can't invest and they don't have the money, I'm gonna tell you this: 90% of the people who say that, be honest with yourself too, they really have the money, but they haven't thought about how to be resourceful to really get it. That doesn't mean they don't have access to it, which is something different. And then also, they either don't want to spend it or invest it. Does that make sense? But I'm gonna tell you the difference between why rich people invest, and there's a difference in mindset between poor people and rich people from a mindset perspective, right? So let me tell you what the difference is, and why once I switched my mindset, I went from 0 to 6 figures doing this industry as a coach, and you know, I'm able to help people and bless and change lives internationally. Is because of this one mindset shift we getting ready to talk about. So we're gonna jump right into it. So why do rich people invest? I mean, it's two reasons. It's this. It's really to save time and money. To save time and money is really what it comes down to. The reason why this is so important is because think about it like this. When you want to be successful, right? So I work with a lot of coaches and speakers who say, hey, you know what? I want to build this thing from scratch, and I want to make my first, you know, 5 grand, 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand, 40 grand, right? And with that, let me tell you this, is that what poor people do with a poor mindset, they try to scavenge the whole internet, piece things together, and try to figure out how to get it done. Which at the end of the day, it leaves you more confused, not knowing where to start, and you've wasted a lot of time. What rich people do is they're willing to make that investment because time is more important than money. Rich people understand that. Money is a renewable resource. If I lose $10 today, I can get $10 back tomorrow. If I lose these 10 minutes today, I cannot get these 10 minutes back tomorrow. So they're willing to trade a renewable resource, money, for time to be able to do what they want and get the results that they want in life. Poor people have the opposite mentality. They say, I have all the time in the world, so I can browse, I can do this, I can, you know, do all of this research, I can do all of these things. And then they're super tight with their money. And they wonder why years and years and years pass and they don't get the results that they want. Or months and months and months pass and they don't get the result. I know because it took me 2 years to get my first client, right? So I'm telling you that I wish I would have invested in a coach earlier, because I would have been able to shorten the learning curve. So let's break down that mentality a little bit more, right? So this is the poor mentality. They say, I don't have the money to invest, right? Which now we know 90% of people say that actually really do. They're not being resourceful enough. So what they say is, and I'm just going to put poor, right, in terms of mindset. So what they say is, I'm going to search blog articles. So they search all of these blog articles, you know, they spending days and days, weeks and weeks, months and months searching all these blogs, right? They're listening to all of these podcasts, right? Trying to figure out what's the next thing I do. Okay, how do I get a client? What's my niche? How do I do this? How do I market and get clients, right? They're spending all of these time watching YouTube videos, right? They spend all of these time watching IG videos, right? They spending all of this time just learning and trying to research and piece things together. And what all of this is costing you, it's costing them, is time, which is a non-renewable resource. And this is how people get stuck in a cycle. I was talking to a lady, and she was trying to make her first 15 grand and it took her, she's trying to make her first $5,000 a month consistently. And it took her 15 years, and she was still trying to figure out how to make her first $5,000. And I was like, I'm just thinking like, man, that's crazy how, just having that lack of investing, you can struggle with this for a long time, and the landscape is going to continually change. So even if you think you got all of this time, once you get there, the landscape has changed by that time, right? If you think you're going to wait 5 years, if you think today is the same way in the internet and the marketplace and how to market online and how to get clients online, if you think this is the same way as it was 5 years ago, especially in our industry, you're sadly mistaken. Things are changing. You got to stay cutting edge, right? So you're always going to be behind, always, if you're not investing, right? But what rich people do, right? What rich people do is, right? They invest in coaches, right? Or at least mentors. They invest in coaches and mentors because that's going to save them the time and the money. For me, it took me way too long. It took me 2 years trying to figure out. And I was doing all of this stuff, trying to figure things out. And had I just been creative enough or thought in how am I going to access the money, I would have got mentors and coaches a lot sooner. I would have been invested to save a lot of that time, a lot of that energy. Give you a case in point. I was talking to a guy yesterday, actually. And one of the things that he was saying is, he was like, yo, you give a lot of value in this PCS certification course, which is my course for coaches, right? To build this up to 6 figures. So what he did was he was like, yo, listen, he said, I don't have the money on hand right now, but he said, I'm going to take out a loan against my 401k. So I'm taking out money on my 401k. I said, yes, like that is what I'm talking about. Like, and I love it because he's betting on himself. And I've done that before. And I'm like, man, like I love the fact that he's willing to make that investment. That shows that he's serious. He's willing to, make that investment, and he's being creative enough. Rich mentality, willing to invest to save time to get back a non-renewable resource. Poor people are willing or just freely give away their time, and they holding on to their money so tight, which is why it takes them a long time to get results, if they get any results, right? And this is why rich people get results. They get results faster, right? So you want to have a rich. When I say rich, I'm talking mindset, right? And money, actually, right? And that's because this is how they get the money. It's where you want to be.